The January transfer window is fast approaching, and Rangers are set to sign a fair few players as Mikel looks to stamp his mark on the Gers side. In today's video, we discuss a goal scorer that Rangers are being heavily linked with as the Morelos contract saga goes on. We also have a James Tavernier update and discuss the latest Rangers news from the last 24 hours. There is so much to cover in today's video. And hello everybody, welcome back to the channel guys. Before we get into today's video, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. Despite Rangers coming from behind on Tuesday to grab all 3 points against Aberdeen, fans have been expressing their concerns and have major doubts surrounding the permanent signing of James Sands after he was toiled against the Dons. Rangers have used the defensive utility man extensively at centre-back this season due to the defensive injury crisis, but after a woeful showing in Aberdeen, fans want the experiment to end. Sands clumsily gave away the free kick from which Duke scored for Aberdeen's first half leveller, whilst the centre-back was slow to react as Leighton Clarkson drilled home their second goal. Had it not been for a late Scott Arfield double, the knives would have surely been out on James Sands, who was eventually hooked as a part of a four-man substitution around the hour mark. Much of the debate surrounding James Sands concerns the reported transfer fee that the Ibrox side will need to pay to make the move permanent in the summer. Whilst at times the United States international has shown himself to be a composed presence in the midfield, the notion Rangers might spend around £5 million to make a deal permanent worries supporters. Whilst it hasn't all been bad for Sands at Rangers, it's hard to argue that the player has done anything to justify such a hefty fee, and it'll be interesting to see what the Ibrox side and New York City discuss come the summer. If Rangers can knock a substantial amount off the fee, then some Ibrox supporters might be open to a deal, but as things stand, James Sands isn't doing enough to justify that hefty price tag. James Tavernier was also subject to criticism up in Pittodrie, but it has been confirmed that the Rangers skipper had flu. The situation was so bad that James Tavernier actually travelled to Pittodrie in his own car, and that the captain played through the illness due to a lack of options in the squad. Four Lads Had a Dream tweeted this. A bit of context to last night. James Tavernier is loaded with flu, hasn't trained much and is unwell. Drove up to the game and back by himself, got changed away from the squad, didn't eat or stay with the team. He was determined to play through for the club, as the club are short of options. It clearly presented James Tavernier with a dilemma against Aberdeen, and given the club have come through the game with 3 points, Rangers' decision to play him has been justified. Borna Barisic admits he is exhausted with his endeavours at the World Cup. The 30-year-old was a part of Croatia's squad, who finished third place in the biggest competition in football. Croatia defied the odds to reach the semi-finals for the second consecutive time after beating Brazil in the quarter-finals. Barisic only featured in one game for Croatia, the penalty shootout win over Japan in the last 16, with the Rangers man playing 120 minutes. The left-back is expected to return to Glasgow next week, and he should be available to face Motherwell at Ibrox on Wednesday, December 28th. Barisic's return would be welcomed by Mikel, with Ridvan Yilmaz out injured, but the Croatian admitted the World Cup has took its toll. Speaking after being honoured in his hometown of Osijek, Barisic said, "I wore myself out to the maximum, both physically and mentally. Honestly, the tournament was very stressful. Japan was the worst for me because I played and of course it went to penalties too. But in the end it paid off, it's what you become a footballer for. I hope and live for the dream that one day I will return to Osijek with a gold medal from the World Cup and not just a bronze one. Our hearts beat for the people of the city because we know how proud you were and how much you enjoyed being with us at the tournament on our journey. We are overjoyed that we could bring a medal to Osijek." As I mentioned in the intro, the January transfer window is soon approaching, and the club are expected to make some additions. Ahead of the window, Rangers find themselves in a dilemma as both Ryan Kent and Alfredo Morelos are in the final 6 months of their current contracts and can leave for free in the summer. This window would mark Rangers' last chance to cash in on their star players. Rangers, though, may have found their first winter target as the club are being heavily linked with a move for Ahmed Kandousi. Beale, after returning for a second spell at Ibrox recently, wasted no time in announcing his intention to give Rangers more thrust and threat in the final third. The Glasgow Giants headed into the World Cup break, having scored 16 fewer goals than old firm rival Celtic, and Kunduzi would certainly go a long way to solving that problem. No one in Algeria's top flight has more than his 8 goals in 11 games so far in the 2022-23 season, a tally which looks all the more impressive when you consider that Kunduzi is not a striker but a central midfielder. According to Football Scotland, Rangers have already held initial talks with Kunduzi's agent. Current employers ES Setif are open to letting Kunduzi go, but only on a permanent basis. Rangers would prefer an initial loan deal, though there is confidence at Ibrox that a compromise can be reached before February's deadline day. Total Football Analyst explained, his creative passing figures are out of this world. He has a top passing quality to get the ball into dangerous positions and has a great view of the pitch. His great delivery from set pieces also contributes to these figures. Kunduzi has the technical ability to manipulate the ball in tight spaces and escape pressure. He's also very creative with his first touch. He can leave players behind with unexpected flicks and carries the ball forward at very good speed. But apart from creating chances, Kunduzi also stands out as a finisher himself. He gets into the box a lot and poses a big goal threat. Mikel Arteta insists his time at Rangers helped him set the base for a career in the Premier League that now sees him manage Arsenal. The former midfielder celebrated 3 years in the job at the Gunners this week as they are pushing champions Manchester City for the title. Back in his playing days, a fresh-faced Arteta rocked up in Govan over 20 years ago from the Barcelona Youth Academy, staying for 2 years before returning back to Spain with Real Sociedad. But in his time in the city, the fierce derby clashes with Celtic left him stunned. While he feels compelled to say Arsenal's match with Tottenham is his favourite local clash, it was Scotland's biggest that left him shocked. Rangers also helped prepare him for a move to Everton in 2005, which left him on a pivotal spell with his current club, where he retired in 2016 before coaching with Pep Guardiola's City side for 3 more years. He told Sky Sports, "Now that I'm here, then I have to say the North London derby, but one that was probably had surprised me and I was really impressed with was the Old Firm derby when I was in Glasgow. That was electric. First of all, I was quite a good student. I thought my English was pretty good. But when I arrived in Glasgow, then I realised that it was a different language almost. I was so lucky. They welcomed me so well in a really special way. It's special people and I'm so grateful. It helped me so much from my transition to playing in the Premier League, and we had some very good moments there." Rangers fans, what do you make of the reports linking Ahmed Kunduzi to the football club? And is he a player that you would like to see the Jers sign in January? Let me know your thoughts down there in the comment section below. That brings us to the end of today's video. Please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. Thank you, and I'll see you all next time. Take care. Peace.